Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Boxing X-Ray, and today I'm reviewing the Infinitude gloves, the Winning Attitude by Infinitude. First off, I want to say thanks to Infinitude for putting out a budget-friendly gloves at an affordable price range. I love the workmanship you guys put into the gloves. I love the premium quality. Everything about these gloves feel like premium. They run at $70 if you're not customizing them. If you decided to customize them, well, good news, Infinitude actually have a 3D layout system, which means everything on the gloves you can customize. You feel like a kid when you actually grab the 3D layout system and you start to customize the gloves and how you want it. Every color is almost there. You have metallic red, metallic black, which I chose here on the glove, so it has this nice shine look to it, and depending on how it is, it seems like it's turned into orange, so it's great. Love the 3D layout system. The gloves run at $70. If you decided to customize them, they might charge you up to like $139, which I paid for mine, and I love them. I feel as if this is good money that was spent into a boxing gloves. It's premium gloves, and I just love how they the quality that they decided to put out for their customers and not try to offer something that is not up to par with what they're trying to price it for. So with that being said, let's talk a little bit more about the gloves. I'm gonna focus on the gloves a little bit more, and keep in mind I am in front of the camera and behind the camera as well. So here we go. I'm not gonna edit that part out of it. I'm gonna keep it in there. All right, cool. So here you have my gloves here, my Boxing X-Ray. My babies are AKA my GXRs. And the reason why I call them GXR is just based on the wrist right here that I designed, the GXR, just my middle logo, middle of my logo. I decided to put it on the wrist. And at the same time, you have that nice, like, you know, it's like it's curling around the gloves, and I like that. So I chose metallic red, metallic black, and white to design my gloves. Here you have my Boxing X-Ray here and my initials customized on the thumb of the gloves. You can actually put whatever you want on these gloves. I decided to keep the Infinitude, the Winning Attitude logo here. I just did not want to steal the whole concept of their boxing gloves, so I decided to give them their props, which they deserve, and leave it right there on the gloves. So let's jump right into the gloves and talk about the quality of the gloves and why you should buy them. So the quality of the gloves is premium. When I say premium, I mean premium leather. It smells like leather. You have that nice leather smell right out of the box. And also keep in mind of how shiny the gloves is. It actually has a gloss that is protecting the gloves. So they actually put a certain chemical on the gloves, which is not harmful. It's a certain chemical they put that will keep the leather from not like getting rough. So when the leather is rough, that's how you actually spar and slice yourself up, because you have this rough leather. You know, they take the time out and they coated the leather before they actually sell it to you. And you know, when you coat the leather, it lasts you a lot longer, and it keeps the glove, to keep the leather from actually breaking apart and, you know, slicing your sparring partner open. With that being said, the padding on the gloves, it's not a thick padding or a dense padding. It's more on the softer side. But with that, even though it's on a softer side, it almost kind of take me back to those memory foam, where when you press them, it holds your fingerprint and it takes it times and just come right back. So it has a great padding inside of it. It's not a padding when you hit. You're gonna have a lot of vibration in the gloves. You can feel a vibration in your wrist and in your elbows and your shoulders. I felt none of that when I'm using these gloves. Also, when I'm using the gloves and I, you know, go to the heavy bag and I hit the heavy bag, it's more on a solid hit. You know, it's not a hit where my hand just bounce right off. It's a solid hit, and it's a lot of padding. Next thing, let's talk about the padding on the thumb, which Infinitude did an excellent job in my opinion. So if you're a beginner, you will love these gloves. And I would say if you're a beginner, actually start off with the gloves like this. Just buy it, don't customize the glove, just buy it order it if you don't have the money straight out the box and just get it for $70. Here's the thing about the padding on the thumb, which Infinitude did an excellent job on. So when you're sparring and you go for the body shot, and your thumb get caught on the elbow, that's how you actually create a lot of injuries on your thumb, and you always cause a lot of breaking off the thumb, or fractures on the bones or whatever. It calls from when you go throw a body shot and you get clipped, the thumb get clipped on the elbow, or you get clipped on the shoulders or whatever. But Infinitude decided to pad the thumb, so much padding up here. All of this is padding, guys. My finger is actually way down where that red part is. So my finger is actually right here. And see, that's where my finger is. So look at all those padding that I have. I'm hitting it very hard, I'm not feeling it. And that's how much padding you have there. So if you're a beginner, you don't have to worry about thumb injuries in these gloves because of how much padding that Infinitude offered to you here. And that's great. Great job by Infinitude. Let's talk about the interior of the gloves. So the interior of the gloves, you feel as soon as you put your hands in these gloves, you know that the material that is quality material that is on the inside. I feel as if they mix it with cotton and nylon, so you have this soft but great cooling system on the inside. And no time when I put my hands in these gloves, it feels like if I'm putting my hands in an oven. When I sweat, actually the sweat gets caught in the gloves, and the sweat is not flushing, like going around in the gloves. It can create some discomfort, especially if the hand wraps are wet and you decided to you decided to keep on working in the gloves and not change the hand wraps. It creates a problem when you're using other gloves. But in this gloves, I don't have that problem where the sweat is like running around in the gloves, or my hand wraps is so wet that I have to stop and change them, because whenever I sweat, the material just soaks up all the sweat, and that's great. Great job by Infinitude, and good idea for whatever material that you use for, it's just a great cooling system on the inside. And you can see here they have the opening right here to cool the hands off, and they also have some holes on the thumb. Let me panel the focus a little bit. You can see the holes on the thumb right there. So it has a great cooling system throughout the gloves, and that's good job by Infinitude. And overall, when I use these gloves, I feel as if what Infinitude was trying to do, they was trying to create one gloves that can do all three things for boxing. Did they succeed by doing so? Yes, they did. So Infinitude, this is just my intake of what they were trying to do. They were trying to create a glove that can do all three things for boxing. A glove that can spar, a glove that can hit the bags, and a glove that can do the mitts. Yes, they were able to do that with this gloves. You can spar with these gloves, you can work the mitts, and you can hit the heavy bag, go all haymakers on the heavy bag if you want. No bad feedback from the glove. And they did. So do these gloves have some strong suit? Yes. In sparring, I find that these are the gloves that you should use. If you're a coach, this is the gloves that you should get for your fighter. And don't get a gloves that is heavier, top heavy. These gloves are the weight is evenly distributed. So your fighter will learn how to wait for counters, learn how to be a counter puncher, which is good. It will have good offense and not just attack. They will have, because sometimes these gloves are so light that you will be able to keep your hands up a lot longer than a top heavy gloves. Top heavy gloves, as soon as you put your hands in there, half an hour you start to drop the hands because of how heavy the top of the gloves is. Weight is evenly distributed on these gloves. Counter punchers, you will love these gloves, right? So working sparring, I use them a lot, and my sparring partner doesn't cry when I hit him with it. They're not heavy, and it doesn't feel like the material is trying to slice him open. For mitts, very good on the mitts. I have no complaints on the mitts. The heavy bag, some people do have complaints. I don't have a complaint on the gloves. And here's the thing why I don't. I know how to throw a punch. When you don't know how to throw a punch and you give somebody a counter puncher gloves, or where the weight is evenly distributed, they start to have a problem because they need a top heavy gloves to carry their hands forward when they're throwing a punch. However, if you already know how to throw a punch, or you're learning how to throw a punch, this gloves will not help you to throw the punch. You will pretty much have to guide your hands to the target in the fashion that you should throw a punch. And this is why this glove is so good, because it starts you off at the beginner level and it pushes you through it and gets you over over the boundaries that is set for you at the beginner stage. It doesn't hype you up at all. There's a lot of people out there that can only use one style of gloves, and that's the top heavy gloves. Give them a counter puncher glove, they can never use it. A counter puncher glove, you can always use a top heavy gloves, and that's because you have to guide your hands towards the punch. Infinitude did a great job by putting out a gloves that can do all three things. You have succeeded, in my opinion, and I feel as if that was your aim, to kick out some of the contests by putting out a glove that can match up to all the three things that you wanted to match up to. Just phenomenal gloves, man, phenomenal. Also, when you put these gloves on for people with longer fingers, and this is a slight drawback. It's nothing huge, guys. It's just a slight drawback to it. It's not even a drawback. I shouldn't even say that. It's just a slight thing that I feel as if Infinitude wasn't looking throughout. So right here on the cooling system, right here with the cooling system, Infinitude did not bring the material all the way here, and I feel as if they should have bring it all the way here and stitch the material from right here all the way here to where the gloves is actually curved right here. Because when I put my hands in there, I want to feel the whole cooling system. I'm like, where's that extra cooling system that I love so much? And it's not right here on the gloves. Also, right here where they put the thumb attachment, they actually put the thumb attachment last. What they should have done, in my opinion, was just put the interior over the thumb attachment. So put the interior actually last on the gloves. If we have to pay $3 for workmanship compensation, go ahead, guys. I don't think we'll cry over that, because we're getting a glove, or premium gloves, for $70 that can do all the three things from boxing. Everything, guys, about my review, I try to give it to my honest and my best recollection of using these gloves. I'm not getting paid for this. I'm not hyping it up. These are great gloves. Go ahead, buy them. It's $70. You won't regret it. It's better than buying a gloves for $50 that cannot help you when you're trying to learn the boxing, and it's gonna damage you in the future. These gloves will protect you. They're a lot safer than the gloves at the price range that you're bargaining for if you're trying to stay under $100. Yes, there are some good brands out there, such as Fairtex, but Fairtex is actually a Muay Thai gloves, and it's not a genuine boxing gloves. In my opinion, I used them before, and I just didn't like how they feel. They didn't have that extra wrist support that I like, and it just felt like it was rushed, in my opinion. And it's also not a glove that you will actually like to use in sparring because of how dense it can be. Infinitude topped the market. If you're looking for a glove that is under $100, look no more. You have found one, and this is the gloves for you. I'd rather buy 2 of these gloves over Cleto Reyes gloves. Not throwing jabs over Cleto Reyes. I just feel as if Infinitude would offer a lot more when it comes to protection, safety, and performance as well, because I can use these gloves in 3 different range where I should use them in. The Cleto, you buy a Cleto, you can't spar with them. At least you won't be sparring with me if you're going with a Cleto Reyes, because I'm not sparring with you. I'll go with a winning any day. But a Cleto Reyes gloves, You sparring, that's gonna be tragic. You know, a lot of hits. Those hits are gonna be heavy. Good job by Infinitude. You're the man. You took over the industry, and for putting out budget-friendly gloves. And this right here is something that I feel as if it's gonna hold the #1 spot in my opinion when it comes to a boxing gloves under $100. Great job by Infinitude. Love the product. Until next time, guys. Peace. I'm your boy Roderick, and I'm signing out.